People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. That's from my old man. Tonight I wanted to share the story with all of you of how I healed and recovered from my torn shoulder. And I'm leaving this message for all of you. A lot of people on their journey, they come across injuries and it knocks them down. But then you need to get back up again. And this past year, I had my trials and tribulations. But as you could see, the shoulder is back. And I wanted to share with all of you how I healed my shoulder, how I went about it, the experience, and hopefully that this message will be helpful for many of you on your journey when you have these mishaps. Hello everyone, I am Michael and I help guide people on the evolutionary journey. Well, we're here to improve our physical and mental health. So today we're spending some time on our physical health. And I'm going to share about my journey on how I recovered from my slightly torn shoulder. It wasn't totally torn off, but back in January, I've been working out for a long time, and it's been a year of resiliency. So just in the past year, I had to be a little resourceful and learn how to work out without having the gym utilities. So that was an experience of its own. And then the gym opened up and I was back at it. I was making progress. I was getting back to how I normally was, and I was feeling great. And then in January, I had a little mishap and I had a slightly torn shoulder. And I remember the moment I was picking up the weight and, feeling my shoulder just kind of give out like I never felt before after all these years of training and working out and feeling the warmth, and I knew something was wrong. And I had a lot of panic at the time because I'm going through something, I'm experiencing something that I've never experienced before all these years that I've been training. So it is very common to have this panic, but I spoke to a few people that I trust, including I called my chiropractor, and I'll talk about him a little bit later. And I explained what happened at the moment, because right away you're in panic mode, and I explained where I felt the damage in the rear delt. Okay, and as you can see, we're back to normal now, but wasn't so great at the moment. And a couple days later, the arm became black and blue, and that's what happens when you have a torn shoulder. But he assured me it was in the rear delt, and it was slightly torn. It wasn't totally torn, and you just need to rest. And tonight I'm going to share how to efficiently go about healing a torn shoulder or any torn muscle. Earlier on my journey, I had a friend that he tore his tricep. So a little bit of what I'm going to share, I actually learned from him years ago when he hurt his tricep. So upon tearing the shoulder, I had to change how I was going to train. I had to be smart. I had to leave the ego at the door. I knew that I had to take a step back, and there was nothing that I could do about it at the time. Sometimes you might feel a little helpless, but these are the peaks and valleys of life. I just spent a lot of time trying to get back into the shape that I was, not having the gym for so long, and now I have to start all over again. So the mental aspect is number one, Light Warriors. And new people might be joining us to hear this message tonight. A lot of people are training and they hurt themselves. So the first aspect is to work on the mental aspect of it. Okay, this is what it is, and Now, where do we have to go from here? So on my journey, all the time, okay, I eat, my diet is just to obtain micronutrients. So I make sure I eat well all the time. So it's going to help improve your healing factor, right? So you always want to be conscious about what you're putting in your body. So if it's meats, fruits, vegetables, grains, make sure that you're eating quality food. So I make sure I have a good diet. I make sure I'm getting the water intake that I need to flush everything out. And I'm making sure that I'm getting the efficient sleep, the efficient rest, because over 80% of our healing is done in our sleep. So, and many of you have been on the journey with me for a long time, and I shared about the 5 to 8 hertz frequency and how it improves sleep. And I slept with the 5 to 8 hertz frequency every single night. And I always do this, but it's just continuing what I normally do. So I want you to know what I normally do as part of this. So now I'm faced with, I can't move much, okay? It was to the point where, even though it was a slight tear, I couldn't even turn the wheel of the car. I had to drive with one arm. That's how bad it was. Couldn't do anything with the arm at all, zero. And it sets a lot of anxiety off. So I'm going to talk about 3 steps, okay? So step 1, when it comes to training, you continue to train, but you have to train smarter, right? Efficiency, train smarter, and leave the ego at the door. So I had to rest my upper body, left side, the whole time. And all I did was train the opposite side and my legs. So, when we work at our legs, it's good for our overall metabolism and fat loss everywhere, because those are your biggest muscle groups. So back in, bodybuilding days, we would train legs twice a week, as frequent as possible, to keep the body moving like a machine to help increase metabolism. So if you happen to tear an arm, either one, it's definitely a good time to focus on legs. So focused on legs, did not train one side, but I continued to train the opposite side. So the body naturally wants to stay in homeostasis. So you don't stop training both sides. If you happen to get an injury, whether it's a shoulder injury, a bicep, or a tricep injury, you want to continue training the other side, but don't train the side that you injured. And this was step 1, where I was only training the opposite side. Now, step 2, I'm now training with the arm that was hurt. So I stood off it for about a week and a half, totally, nothing. And now I'm training light. So whatever I was doing what I normally do with the right side. And then with the left side, I'm only using, like 10%, maybe not even 10%, like basic movements, doing pulls, pushes, as light as possible, just getting the motion. And the reason why this speeds up healing is because you want to increase blood flow to the area. So now we're in the stage, right? We've rested, we stood off it, we iced, and now we want to get blood flow in the area. So you don't want to not train it for a long period of time, but we want to carefully train as light as possible, like basically no weight on the machines, no weight. Even if it's 10 pounds, if you're pressing, 2 plates, 2.5 plates, 3 plates, even if it's 10 pounds, just to get blood flow in the area. So the blood flow is taking the micronutrients that you ate from your diet, and it's putting it there or wherever you injured yourself to start the healing. So we got to get blood flow in the area. So we got to focus on blood flow now. So I would work out light, and now, several weeks later, I visited my good friend and the healing hands of God. We're going to talk about healing, Light Warriors. I saw my chiropractor, Ray Bartoli. You should check out Ray if you're in the New York area. I say he has the healing hands of God. I love you, Ray. He's watching. So I've been seeing Ray for a long time, and I want to talk about ultrasound. So ultrasound, we're not talking about ultrasound like to maybe get an image. It's sound waves, ultrasound, that it stimulates the area. So what ultrasound does is it expands capillaries, and now the nutrients, so if you're eating healthy, the micronutrients are now going to be going to that area for a good 48 hours. So the ultrasound is kind of opening up the capillaries, and you're getting better blood flow to the area where it might normally not be going so deep. Got to hydrate as well. So you want to, if you have the ability to, get ultrasound done around the injury. And I never hurt my shoulder to this extent before, but over the years, if I had like a shoulder tweak or an injury, one time I had impingement in the pec, and ultrasound is great, and it opens up and you're getting blood flow in an area where you're not normally getting great blood flow. So the ultrasound, I saw Ray, and that helped speed up the healing. And then eventually, you're going to get back to step 3 now, training normally, but don't push it. So where, if I was doing 100% on one arm, and I was slowly going up 10%, 15%, 20%, now I just want to train normally, but I'm going to bring it down. So now I'm training both arms the same, but I'm going to be bringing down the healthy arm and bringing up the injured arm, or the arm that was is being repaired now. We're not injured. We're healing. The healing arm, not the injured arm, right? So now I'm working out at 60%, both sides at once, and now I'm bringing it up step by step, and I'm listening to my body. If I'm feeling the pain, I'm taking my time, and you have to leave the ego at the door. So I know we if we injure ourselves and we want to get back to the way that we were, but you don't want to, go back too soon, and now a slight tear becomes a major tear, and now you've done more damage than what was originally there. So you want to take this slowly. So remember those 3 steps. So a lot of people, they could be in the gym and they could injure one side of the body, one arm. I know I'm talking about my shoulder injury, but you could even relate this to an injured tricep, bicep. Step 1, totally rest one side and only train the other side. Don't stop training. Continue to train, but only train your healthy side and leave the other side alone. Step 2, the light training. All right, so you can continue going with your healthy side, and then the side that's injured, now you're just doing it, and you want to do the light training because you want to get more blood flow in the area. And then if you're, now that it's healed, ultrasound, stim, it's not done, once you hurt yourself. So, Ray said, rest it for a couple weeks and then come in for the ultrasound. And then, the ultrasound increases blood flow itself. And now train normal, both arms, step 3, but don't push it, okay? So bring it back down and just have a solid movement. Leave the ego at the door. And the overall important thing that helped me bring this back was having a positive mindset, envisioning myself, like you could have an image if you've already achieved, or if you're trying to achieve a new level, and some, some people have been on the journey with me for a while and they understand this, and some people might be coming across this message for bodybuilding purposes or injury purposes. You have to focus your mind on what your body is going to look like and your mind to muscle connection. A long time ago on my journey, I would maybe even hear this and say, this is crazy, like you just think about it. But I assure you that, when you focus your mind to muscle connection, it's much greater than just, like lifting the world. You don't want to lift the world, but, over the years, I've actually eaten more, healthier, and I've actually dropped total body weight, but my body composition is different. I told you all, I do not age, I evolve. And that's where we're at, Light Warriors. We need to overcome, and these are the peaks and valleys of life. And I hope that this message was helpful for many people. And we all get knocked down. It could be different things, like you could be a runner and you hurt your knee, something different. So I'm just sharing a real life example, but I'm back, kid. So leave your comments. I know this message might be a little bit different, and we'll take a look at the feedback. If you're interested, maybe we'll start to do some workout videos. I have some secret moves that I'd like to share with all of you. And, our community improves physical and mental health and the overall everyday life experience for all people. And it's my honor to do this. And, even myself, I get knocked down, and it was not an easy time for me. Those that know me know that I'm authentic. I was very upset at the time, and I was very scared because for so many years I've been lifting, and I've always done the same thing all the time. And people ask me, like, how did this happen? And just was doing what I always did. But I was talking to my chiropractor, and maybe the muscles were oxygen deprived at the time. Wasn't getting enough oxygen down. So just something to think about. So, I was just baffled when it happened. So it kind of like it just comes out of nowhere. You're doing something that you've done for so many years, and then you have a catastrophic event. And it's, it could be, listen, I'm very grateful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. It could have been worse, but these are the mishaps. We have our peaks and valleys, and a lot of this channel is about resiliency. So I hope that this message is helpful. You got to keep going, kid. So I hope I pump you up. I hope I keep you motivated, and I'm showing you that we all have our peaks and valleys. Even myself, I had to overcome this mishap, but now we're getting back on the right track. And also, after you've trained for a while on the injured arm, if you will, if it's the shoulder injury, sometimes you need to, after you're getting it back to normal, there could be a little bit of scar tissue there, and then eventually, you'll finish breaking that up. And in recent times, I said, I'm doing a movement that was hurting me for so long. I had a little bit of pain afterwards doing the movements. And then one day I said, recently I said, I'm not feeling that pain anymore. So then I know I said I was going to talk about this, and I felt now it was time to talk about it, because I know that I feel like it's totally 100%, and I always keep my word. So if you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because if we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health. You got to bring them all together. You need to use this vessel on your journey. So you got to keep your physical body strong at all times. It's still important. It's very important. It's not just one. You gotta have the Triforce. You have to have all three phases together. So I hope that this message was helpful for you if you've gone through an injury or any time in your everyday life when you get knocked down. We all get knocked down, but how many times can you get knocked down, light warriors, and get back up again? Don't worry about what's going on all over. You know why. We cannot control what is around us. However, we can control from within. Be conscious how to heal your body. You need to heal. Your body can work miracles. Just unlock your innate, what you have inside. And we're back. Use this to raise your vibration and increase your electromagnetism. Life is so much better when we are all together. If you find this message inspiring or know someone that could benefit from it, please share this message. Dear ones, I am Michael. We are the 144,000 warriors of the rainbow. It's a mindset. You have to be a warrior. Keep going. Have a wonderful day living your everyday life. I hope that this will inspire you to get up when you get knocked down. I was knocked down, and I'm sharing this to help, even if it's one person, get back up again. And if you're interested in these types of messages, I'll have a few workout videos in store for you. So leave your thoughts in the comments, and we're going to expand, we're going to grow, and who knows what'll come of this. I hope that this message was helpful for all of you. Have a great day. Namaste.